Hello and welcome everybody back to the League of Ungentlemanly Warfare with Stronghold Crusader HD. Kebablord here, and today we are going to take on the next AI. And the next AI in our list is a wolf, actually the strongest AI in the entire game. So that is going to be interesting, especially since it opens also a lot of options for me to work with in the game. So I can demonstrate several new troop types, I can show a few more economic options and stuff like that. So yeah, it might be nice. Also, a thing that I want to say at the beginning is I modified the wolf a little bit to build his strongest castle that I have designed for him. Well, strongest economic-wise and so on. Meaning we will have a lot of time at the beginning to build ourselves up. But yeah, he will also attack very strongly. That is going to be very interesting.
Your popularity is falling.
So, here we are. And well, now time to go into build mode and build a very, very, very big stockpile, because we are going to handle a lot of different resources. And the last thing that I want to have is that in the midst of a battle I will have to take care of always manually trading off goods. That's just something that shouldn't be necessary. Perfect. So we are going to need a bit of building material. Just got that, and here the wolf is already building up, though very slowly. Again, we have a lot of time. More than with a pig, definitely, because the pig was a rusher. The wolf is more like building up his fortress first, and then sending out the strongest attacks in the game. And also scaling up quite quickly with the unofficial Crusader patch. So, now that we have at least some basic materials, let's go for food. So the wolf unfortunately does not go for the bread production, so we have to still stick with cheese and apples, but at least both are available now.
Not enough workers available to run this building.
So, 8 dairy
Not
farms.
enough workers available to run this building. Not enough workers available to run this building.
Game, we know that. Please don't turn into an Adam or an Eve. Yeah, thank you. So, and then of course we need a quarry.
Not enough workers available to run this building.
Oh, and here I made a little mistake. Yeah, I want to also have a way larger armory because of the amount of different weapon types we're also going to deal with. The dairy farm is going to be in the way. So, and we are also going for beer production this time. And I can already tell you, one hop farm is more than enough. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we also get some people. Yay! So there's that, and now we are going to use iron as our main trade good. So time to build a few iron mines. We are also going to need them for weapon production.
Not enough workers available to run this building. Not enough workers available to run this building.
And there you can see already, especially compared with a pig or a snake, the size of a castle of a wolf is just ginormous. It's one of the largest castle sizes that is actually possible in the game. So, and we are allowed to build 10 houses. Yay. Also, the wolf has quite a strong economy. Not the strongest economy in the entire game, but from all the AIs, but it's competitive. So now we get the first iron bars. Yeah, and we can sell each for 23 gold. So, as you can see, they are not going to take. They are not taking up a lot of space. So they are basically the perfect trading good in the game. So the wolf uses 3 tower types: perimeter tower, defense turret, and square tower. I'm going to focus on square towers. First, we will have a big wall.
Not enough goods.
So, time to go for the Tanner's workshop. The wolf uses crossbowmen and archers. I'm going to focus only on crossbowmen. That will make things a little bit easier to manage. Also, they are simply way stronger than normal archers could ever be.
This building has no labor, sire. Not enough goods.
So here we get our armorer workshops. And slowly but steadily, our little economy is taking shape. So, time to build a few blacksmiths, so that we can recruit swordsmen. Yeah, he's slowly building the economy. At the moment, the wolf is mainly using his economy to buy stone, to increase the size of his castle and to finish it.
Can't place that there, my lord. Can't place that there, my lord.
More wood is needed.
So we are also going for a few pikemen, just in case we will have to take care of moats.
Attain! Shot! We stand ready!
Needed, sire.
Attain! Shot!
And there you can see the frontal gate is basically just one big kill box, surrounded by towers, so that the archers can shoot down.
Attain! We stand ready!
Sire.
Attain!
Weapons
Shot!
needed, sire.
So, time to prepare beer. One of these inns is enough to supply around 26 population.
Needed.
Work halted, my lord. Work halted, my lord.
And the thing is, they are consuming beer slowly enough that it is really enough to have just one hop farm that is close by and up to 4 breweries.
Can't place that there, my lord.
And that is already all the beer supply that is necessary. So we have 14 peasants left
Attain! Shot!
for recruitment. That is good.
We stand ready!
Needed, sire.
Now we can start constructing our first towers.
Jump to it. Sir. Quick march.
Yeah, the wolf will soon have finished his castle. And then the actually battle will start. And I can already tell you it is going to be glorious.
Aye, sir.
Weapons
We
needed,
stand
sire.
ready.
Weapons needed, sire.
So, just for good measure, a few defensive
We
siege
are under
engines.
attack.
Your grace. We salute you. Manning siege equipment.
Ah, the first probing attacks have started.
We stand ready. Swordsman, attack!
Feel the power.
My lord, commander, sire.
Well, that is the issue when you're leaving your castle open. So, we have a few beers and a few kegs of beer in our reserves,
This
so...
building is currently functioning, my
Or
lord.
barrels. Yeah, that's a bit... That's a bit large for a keg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We want to keep a little bit of distance.
Your grace, I live to serve you. Manning siege equipment. Attain. Shot.
Recruits needed, sire. Recruits needed, sire.
Your command. Forward. Shoulder. Arms.
Dum dum dum. And time for the next defensive siege engine.
Your grace, we salute you. We stand ready. Manning siege equipment. Aye, sir.
Recruits needed.
We stand
sire.
ready.
Recruits needed, sire. Our
We also have
grain
enough
stocks
food.
are
So,
growing,
and the
sire.
beer gives us +8 happiness.
Our food stocks
And-
are dwindling, my liege.
Well, supplying the people with different food types also gives additional happiness, so we see
Worship,
we are at
sire.
+10. And that allows us
Change in the
to
treasury,
get some
lord.
taxes. So whenever a month is over, that we can see down here, like now it switched from August to September, now to October,
Gold
every
is
time we get the
flowing
amount of
into
money
the
here.
treasury, sire. We are under attack.
Though be warned,
Gold is
it gets
flowing into the
less
treasury,
efficient with each increase. So the sweet spot is
Gold
around
flowing
-8.
into the treasury, sire.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
My lord.
New crossbowman.
Double. Aye, sir.
Weapons
We stand
needed,
ready.
sire. Recruits needed, sire. Recruits needed, sire.
I'm afraid I need to switch the positions of those. I'm not producing enough plate armor. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The enemy is building 8 towers, so I'm also going for 8, and that was a wrong button. So here again, defensive siege engines.
Your
1, 2,
grace.
3, 4.
Commander, sire. I live to serve you. Manning siege equipment. Aye, sir.
Weapons
stand
needed,
ready.
sire. We are under attack. Needed, sire.
Yeah, now the economy is also complete. There you can see the wolf has 10 houses, 4 inns, 5 breweries, a couple of weapon productions. It was 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That is quite a lot.
Aye, sir. We stand ready.
And also a few chapels that give religion and therefore can also increase happiness and allow for higher taxes. And the wolf also has, well, no fear factor yet, but he's going to have.
Attain! Shot! Your command? Quick! March!
Two, three, 4, 5. So, and this is now the exact amount of defensive siege engines that the Wolf also has.
Your grace.
So it is fair. Though, I have to admit, I'm using way more crossbowmen.
From the wolf. I will kill you soon. You and all your vermin.
Oh, and there we see the very first attack wave is coming.
Finding range. Feel the power.
We see a few crossbowmen, pikemen, and a few swordsmen. And we should never underestimate them. But for now they are simply not enough to get far. But that might change in the future attacks when the wolf is coming with hundreds. And thanks to his quite strong economy, it will happen quickly.
We stand ready. Forward.
Yeah, the swordsmen are hard to kill.
From the wolf. Is there no one who will rid me of your irritating presence?
And there you can also see the castle is being defended by a moat from the side. So you either attack from the back or from the front. Otherwise you will need light armored units or pikemen to get rid of a moat, and then you have to get through all these walls while constantly being under fire by the enemy towers. And the defensive siege engines will also help, so even if we are getting here with our army, then the Mangonel back here will fire and still hit a few of our units. Though artillery in this game can actually do friendly fire, something that we should also never forget. And I am afraid I have to get rid of 2 iron mines so that I have more peasants available.
Aye, sir. We stand ready.
Recruits needed, sire.
Ready, sir. Finding range. Mangonel ready, sire. Fall in. Finding range.
There we can see the wolf is already at 257 soldiers. I mean, you probably remember how many soldiers the pig used and how many the snake used.
Shot.
So yeah, quite the difference.
Aye, sir. We stand ready.
Oh, there are a few interruption catapults, but I don't think they come far. Our ballistae are going to get rid of them. Oh, the next attack wave.
Weapons needed, sire.
And you see, way more swordsmen and pikemen.
Aye, sir.
Weapons needed, sire.
So this has the potential to be interesting again. But, well, they won't get that far.
From the wolf. Soon you will see what it means to wage real warfare.
Well, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to use up to 160 crossbowmen for my defense. The rest is my attack force.
Aye, sir. We stand ready.
Recruits needed, sire.
And there they come.
Sire. Recruits needed, sire. The
Aye, sir.
needed, sire.
So about the units that we can actually recruit now. We have crossbowmen who have a shorter range than archers, but deal way more damage against armored units, though they shoot way slower. So the archers are very good against light targets like monks or spearmen or slaves. while the crossbowmen are best suited against armored targets.
Aye, sir.
The pikemen are actually a medium armored unit, though they have the highest health as far as I know. And they still move quite quickly, and they are perfect for getting rid of motes. But their damage output is very low. They are they're mainly a defensive unit. And the swordsman, well, high armor, less HP than a pikeman, but in return high damage output, so they are really dangerous. And the best way to get rid of them is fire.
Attain. Shot. I live to serve you.
It's a rout.
Okay then.
Attain. Shot. Aye,
Time to
sir.
work on our army.
Stand ready.
Yeah, and additional to that, we have here the mercenary post. The wolf is using Veen archers, which are... Well, it's up to debate if they have any major differences compared to the European archers. The European archers seem to have slightly more range, while the Arabian archers seem to have a little bit more fire frequency, but in practice it doesn't really matter. Then we have horse archers, basically archers who can shoot while moving. That makes them very OP, though they cannot be moved up onto walls, so they are only for field units. Oh yeah, only for field battles. But a very common strategy among players is to kill an AI by recruiting like 500 of these and letting them ride around the enemy castle, killing all the mans that are on the towers so that the castle can be stormed easily. That is, in my opinion, super lame. Well, and then there are here these engineers who have a kettle full of pitch, which basically just burns everything down there for one-time use, and they have to get a new load from the big kettle that we are seeing here. It's something that I don't use because, well, just they need to reload. I find that actually quite annoying. Yeah, so Wolf has a very balanced army roster consisting of a lot of different units, which each have a specialty. For example, the archer, while we crossbowmen can't do that, they can use the braziers to shoot fire arrows, and the fire arrows they can ignite pitch to burn people before they even reach the walls. Yeah, again, crossbowman can't do that. So if you are always, if you're trying to defend yourself with fire, always consider using some archers, be they European or Arabian. It doesn't matter as long as they are archers and not crossbowmen. And now we see the next big army, and he's already at 338 soldiers. Okay, then let's go to higher speed and see how far he gets. Yeah, also using a few more siege engines.
It's a rout.
I simply have too many crossbowmen in my defense, so the wolf can at this rate not get really dangerous. So what I really like about Stronghold Crusader is that they put more emphasis on the character of an AI. Each AI type is using their own troops, having their own difficulty, and using their own economy, and therefore each AI has their own playstyle. And they did not just go with heavy AIs with difficulty via difficulty rating, like for example Age of Empires did. Here you have real personalities, but in return they don't use every means that is available to them to stay in character, and therefore, well, you get quite quickly to the situation where you can easily beat the hardest AI on your own. Really dangerous is when you are playing against a team of AIs, like for example Wolf, Pig, Snake and Red combined. Then you have the Pig and the Red as rushers, you have the Snake as a swarmer, and then you have for the late game attacks the Wolf, the really deadly attacks. So they together form a really strong alliance.
Aye, sir.
And that is where the difficulty comes for most missions of Stronghold Crusader campaign, that they simply combine several AIs together. Your men approach and die, my friend.
It's a rout.
And your trebuchet is too stupid to hit things.
It's a rout.
Seems like so far we are safe.
Aye, sir. We stand ready.
Yeah, as you can see by the gallows, the wolf has a slight negative fear factor, making his soldiers a bit weaker, but in return letting him produce them faster.
It's a rout.
Yeah, about the castle. Here we have a kill box. We can't go to the side by destroying the walls because there's a little moat. So even if you destroy the wall in here, you have to get through a tower. And even if you're able to get these, the first part of the castle, you have no direct way of entering the enemy keep unless you use siege towers and leatherman. And then you can just walk up there. But otherwise, you will also have to break through these two gates in order to access the keep from the front, where you have engineers with oil. So that is quite a deadly thing. So most AIs like Richard the Lionheart, when they are attacking frontal-wise, they don't even get through. Even if they are attacking with 500 people, then they get maybe to that gate and until they are all burned. So this is quite an efficient defense against most AIs. Though the wolf, especially this castle, is very vulnerable to early rushes.
We stand ready.
That is the downside on it. He needs some time to build up. Oh, next attack. The 418 soldiers. I guess I will attack when I'm around at 1000.
Aye, sir.
A message from the wolf.
The Mangonels are working wonders against the bigger attack groups of the wolf.
It's a rout.
They were getting a bit very far. I'm positively surprised.
A message from the wolf.
Is there no one who will rid me of your irritating presence?
Oh, there you can see we have only 17 here.
Jump to it!
One could think this is because of enemy archers, but no, the reason is very simpler. This Mangonel here is also doing friendly fire and killing my own units, so... You will see if we compare the units that I have lost with the units that the wolf has killed later in the statistics. Death through friendly fire, as we can also see in the walls here. Mangonels are super imprecise.
Aye, sir.
A total RNG weapon. But in return they one-hit each unit, aside from siege engines. Oh well, what would you do if a stone of the size of a melon is hurled upon your head? You would die. Of course, it is the only option that you have.
Aye, sir.
Because biology.
Weapons needed.
It's a rout.
Yeah, we now have everything that we need here. So...
Come on.
Control 3, Control
We
1.
salute
I
you.
could use siege engines, but I don't want to. Let's see how far we will get. There's actually a chance that we might lose this battle. Unless, of course, I wait until he attacks. But that means I'm also going to get here a little defensive force. Just in case he gets too far. Just a couple of swordsmen. And a few crossbowmen on top of the keep.
Weapons needed, sire.
That way we are quite safe.
We stand ready. We stand ready.
Yeah, my army is approaching its maximum size. Yeah, fighting against one player means that you have a troop limit of 1,160 units. A Stronghold Crusader Extreme, it would be more, but there you have this magic ability bar that is totally annoying and free spawning units. It's just... Crusader Extreme is not really full of good ideas. Good things that the new AIs that they added for Crusader Extreme have also been added to the base game. So that we can explore them in future episodes, right? So nearly 80,000 gold. I could now recruit 1,000 horse archers. I even could buy the rules for the series. Ah, there comes his attack. I'm going to wait until most of his troops are spent. Otherwise he will just come back and attack me from behind, and that is something that I don't want.
A message from the wolf.
I will kill you soon. You and all your vermin.
Moving Righto, my lord.
Well, it doesn't seem like the enemy siege engines came far. And here are so many armored units dying. In the meantime, we are attacking here.
A message from the wolf. A message from the wolf.
Okay, apparently the AI feels threatened. That is a very good sign.
I serve thee.
A message from the wolf.
So, like with the red, he has a very narrow path so that not too many units that can attack the gate at the same time.
Come on, run them through.
In multiplayer there's actually a special setting, and I'm actually a bit sad that it is not standard here. And that is strong walls, so that simple infantry units cannot attack gates and walls, and you are reliant on such engines. Yeah, but you have spent most of your fire and killing pits, so that's now over. Really? For fuck's sake.
A message.
Finally dead. As you can see, it did cost us a lot. We lost over 500 units in this attack.
Victory!
While other AIs could simply be swarmed by such an army, the wolf, well. And here you can see I lost 530 units and the wolf killed 517. That means 13 units have been killed by our own Mangonauts. So I produced more food, less wood, less stone. In return, way more iron. We produced more weapons and destroyed a few more buildings. And yeah, we had 92 peasants while wolf had 98. We killed 1,433 units. Interesting. So, and yeah, that's basically it. The next fight will be against an Arabian lord, Sultan Saladin, if I'm not wrong. He's the guy with the strongest economy. I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, if you liked this video, then please give it a thumbs up. It's always a great feedback for me. If you have any direct feedback, questions, suggestions for future, or any opinion on the Castle of the Wolf that you have seen, please write it down in the comments. And yeah, if you want to join our community Discord, then you will find an invitation link in the video description down below. And if you want to get notified whenever I upload something new, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel and that notifications are activated. And with that, I'm out, and goodbye. See you next time.